Two's always useful. Right, ready when you are.
Once in Royal David City stood a lonely cattle shed, where a mother laid her baby with a manger for a bed. They were watching Is It?
That was very quiet. Couldn't tell if you were just zoning out and doing your own little Christmas.
Well, you know me. What the fuck is a manger anyway? I thought it was something dogs got.
I think it's French for manger, which means to eat, and it's a thing that you give cattle to eat out of.
It's French for
something to eat, yeah. Manger, eat, manger. It's the thing that cattle eat out of.
If I had a baby and it was the son of God,
yeah, you wouldn't be putting
I
it
wouldn't
in.
put it into something that a cow might eat out of.
That's a fair point.
It's not the only reference to manger either in the general carol.
Is it not?
No, I'm sure there's more manger references, isn't there?
I don't know. I'm not big on that whole religion thing.
You're not big on Christmas.
No, well, I don't mind
Your
a bit.
hat would suggest otherwise.
Well, you know, tradition.
I think
and all
we should
that.
probably wish our viewers
Yeah, Merry Christmas to both of you.
Yeah, very Merry Christmas
Yeah.
to one and all. To one and the other two.
Yeah.
Well, have you got much planned for Christmas? How's your triangular Christmas present wrapping going?
Don't go there. I was just telling Dan before we started that I wrapped my presents last night, and I'm not good at that. I get very frustrated. I really don't like it, and I'm really not very good at it. It's made especially hard by a triangular shaped present.
Well, if you give people a quality street chocolate for Christmas.
What's made it worse this year is the dog, for whatever reason, decided to try and eat my Christmas presents. And it doesn't normally eat things that aren't food, but it tried to eat some bath bombs, which thank God it didn't actually eat them, because I don't know what that would do to a dog's digestion, but I don't think it would be good.
Well, it'd be nicer than what's outside the studio just at the moment, I would imagine.
Well, it might be a different colour.
Foamier.
A little foamier, yeah. What else did it try? It tried to eat some camera film. It tried to eat various things. Lego.
Kane, isn't it, your dog?
Yeah. Kane, the dog that will eat anything, including Lego now, it turns out.
Yeah.
He's a bit of an idiot. But he's cute. Bit like you, Dan.
Yeah.
Why,
I was waiting for that one.
that's why I let you hang around. You remind me of the dog.
Yeah.
I don't let the dog
At
in
least
the
the
studio.
dog doesn't shit in the garden.
Is that you? Have you been shitting outside my studio again? I knew it. That makes a lot of sense.
Oh, dear. So, here we are for a festive round of Is It Shits?
Yes. Let's do some plug-in reviewing, shall we?
We've got some very festive plug-in reviews, have we?
I wouldn't call them festive, but they're plugins, and they've been released at a festive time of year. So,
Merry Christmas, one and all.
yes, exactly. Right, shall we crack on?
Let's.
So, you may have noticed, because the whole world has been banging on about it for the last week or two, FabFilter have released Pro Q4, the update to Pro Q3, and obviously 2 and 1, blah, blah, blah. It's their latest flagship EQ plugin, and features several updates over Pro Q3, which people have got very excited about. In fact, someone said in a review the other day that this was a game changer, and everything is different now.
A game changer in equalisation.
Yeah. I'm not quite so enthusiastic about things that change the game, apparently.
No.
Anyway, shall we have a look at it?
Let's.
Let me... Christmas hat is doing my head in. It's too tight. Literally.
I told you, it's got elastic at the back.
Oh, no, but
if you cut that elastic...
Oh, that's fixed it.
Okay.
It's no longer squeezing my head. Excellent.
Yeah. My head's not big enough for it to hurt. So.
No, a little peanut. Anyway.
A little what?
Peanut.
Oh.
So, yes, the Pro Q4. What is it? Well, it's the same as the Pro Q3, really. It's got a few things that didn't have. So, You can have 24 bands, which obviously is a lot. Don't know who needs 24 all at once, but you might, I suppose. That's a possibility. It features dynamic EQ. It now features spectral EQ, which means it can act a bit like Soothe or De-Seek or Gullfoss.
Is that what you feed into it?
Basically, it analyses the audio and de-resonates anything that might be quite annoying. It's got something called sketch mode, and sketch mode is basically when you've got a clean sheet, you haven't done EQing yet, you can click on this little pencil on the bottom left, or is it a paintbrush? It's too small to tell. And whatever you do with your mouse whilst clicking, it will draw an EQ curve and put in the appropriate points. Which, I mean, it's clever, but really,
it's clever, but entirely redundant.
pretty much. No one draws
like
an
me.
EQ. Yeah, there you go. Nice to look at sometimes, but you're never ever going to want to use it. Yeah, I think it I don't know. Maybe I saw a review the other day and someone said, "Oh, I always know what curve I'm going to use on my drums, so I can just draw it in really quick." I'm like, that's really, you're working like that? You just put the same curve on all the drums all the time? That's weird. I don't work.
Well, there is that classic kind of, when you're arrive at a festival.
Oh yeah,
back in the old days. Remember?
Seat in the pants. Yeah, you got to mix in the first song.
Boost at 100, all the 500 out, and then
scoop the bottom, scoop the mid, push the others.
That's it.
Fix it later. I get that. But we're talking about studio mixing with this really, and it's you just you don't need to be that quick and on the fly really.
No.
So I don't really get that. It's also got another mode where wherever you move the mouse, if you click, it immediately puts a node. That I found a little bit annoying because
another node mode. Yeah,
it just kept putting nodes in places. When I was trying to click away from it, it just put in another one and another one. I'm like, luckily it's got an undo, so I could get rid of them. But I found that a little bit annoying, if I'm honest. It's got this new thing called character modes. So if you click on this little symbol down there, you can see I've got two little lights on that, and that means I've got it on the warm setting. So you can have it just clean digital EQ like it's always been, or you can have it on like a subtle mode where it's adding a little bit of character, or you can click it onto more warm, where it gives it more analog harmonics, which is a new thing for Pro Q. So I like that. That's good. Happy with that. I think probably the biggest change that is the most useful change people are going to really like is if we look at this close-up of the EQ settings little panel, you can see now that when you set up a dynamic EQ, you have this fader for your threshold, which is very useful. So that's you can see the VU meter, you can set that exactly where you want it to set it. You now have separate attack and release for the dynamic EQ, which that's a new thing. That's great. That makes it infinitely more usable, and that I think they needed to do that. I love it, and the fact that you can change what kind of EQ setting it is there as well. It's all in the same place. You can click on the little headphones to solo just that band. Dynamic EQ is so useful. People use it all the time these days. That is really good. I love that. But probably the most exciting change that people are getting excited about, and I actually don't mind it, you can click down the bottom here where it says the name of the track. So this is whatever the track name is on your door that this is inserted on. If you click on that, if you've got any other instances of Pro Q4 in your session, they all come up in this one screen. And you can actually EQ within them from this screen. So that could be useful if you're trying to set up your kick and your bass to trigger off each other, to get out of each other's way or anything like that. This means you can have more on the same window.
You could have your bass guitar come up, your kick drum come up, and your keyboards come up, and you could EQ them all together in the same screen.
Yes, so that could be kick, bass, keys.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that's pretty useful.
That's one of those things, it's like, I just wish I was a bit cleverer. And I'd have thought of something.
Yeah. Well, it's quite clever programming to get it to get together all the instances and put them in a window instantly. That's pretty smart. So yeah, I very much approve of that. It took a little bit of, I didn't read the manual, to be honest. It took me a while to find out how to open that window, but once I did, that made sense. And then you have to click this little cross in the top right and it shuts down. Or what you don't do is click on the window to go to that one. That's what I thought at first, and all I did was add a new node, which I didn't want to do. So yeah, you basically...
There seems to be a bit of a theme here with adding new nodes.
It's just a way of working. You've got to get used to it. It's a little bit annoying sometimes. If you've come from a different EQ that doesn't quite work the same way, it can take a little bit of getting used to. But that's very clever. The spectral thing, again, is very cool. It will show you, if you fire up the screen, if any two of these are fighting. So it will come up with these red bands and it will show you this and that are fighting for the same frequency. So you know then you add a spectral node and it let it sort itself out.
You node.
You know to add a node.
I already knowed that.
You already knowed that one.
Yeah.
So that's I mean, that's a lot for an EQ to do.
Yeah.
Other than that, it works in pretty much the same way as Pro Q3, but they are some really good things. I don't think the sketch thing is game changing or particularly useful. The dynamic EQ with the attack and release, that, you could argue that it should have had that all along. The spectral thing is a nice addition. It might mean, if you're happy to work in this interface, that you don't need to go and get one of the spectral plugins.
Can you upgrade from Pro Q3, or is it a brand new?
Do you know what? I don't know. I think you might be able to. Yeah, there might be a discount for an upgrade. They're very strange FabFilter in that if you go on their website and say, right, I want to buy this plugin, it's this much. If you want to buy this one and this one, it's a bit less. And if you want to buy 3, it's a bit less. Again, the more you buy, the cheaper they go. So yeah, that's Pro Q4. There's a few things I still think it could add, which would really make it the only EQ you might need. For me, it's missing things like the Tone Boosters EQ, which I've started using all the time. I love that thing. That has, you can select, one of these nodes could do something like only EQing the transient, or only EQing the sustain, or EQing the ambient signal, or and this doesn't go that far yet. Maybe that's in the future, I don't know. But I really like that stuff on the Tone Boosters one. This doesn't have that, but one could argue that should be a separate plugin, maybe, who knows. But it's pretty impressive, but yeah, it's still just an EQ.
So does one get a demo?
One does get a demo, 30 days, which is pretty good, and it doesn't do any weird stuff in that 30 days.
That's cool.
It lets you use it, which we like.
That's very cool. So let's move on.
Okay.
Is the Pro Q version 4?
Do you want to know how much it is?
No. I don't really know. Shit.
It's 144 quid.
Fuck. Crying out loud.
Blimey. Yeah.
That's quite a lot of money, isn't it?
It's quite a lot of money.
How much is the...
Don't ask me something I don't know, Dan.
No, the one we were just referring... Oh, no.
Oh, the Tone Boosters one. Yeah. It's like €35. Yeah, I mean, for me, I'm not going to jump on this, but I do appreciate it. It is very professional.
People do love these, don't they?
Very nice looking. Yeah, a lot of people use the Pro Q3 as their EQ. Yeah. And they will only use a different style of EQ if it's adding something
but
that
go
can't.
to the Tone Boosters website and check out theirs.
100% do that. Yeah.
So...
Yes.
Sean.
Yes.
In a festive way.
Yeah.
Is it shit?
No, you couldn't call it shit. I think some people have been a bit enthusiastic saying it's a game changer. It's not. It's just an EQ. It's a bit cleverer than what it was, but it's still not got everything that an EQ could possibly have. It is a bit better than what it was. I like that multi-screen thing.
The multi-screen thing's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool. Yeah. I like the spectral bit they've added. I think that's really useful. And I like the attack and release, but one could argue maybe they should have always been there. But, but yeah, no, it's not shit. It's very, very good.
I like this. We're we're going up market a little, aren't we, with this one? One could say. One could add. Would one buy this equaliser?
That was a slip of the tongue by one. I don't normally speak that way.
The worst thing is when
it's the hat. It's just crushing my head and making me lose all sense of normality.
Or yourself. I was just phoning to see if yourself would like the EQ.
No, myself wouldn't.
No. Okay.
Myself is quite happy.
Okay. Good stuff. Well, ladies and gentlemen.
Gentleton. Listen, Gentleton.
Ho, ho, ho. Please like the video.
Very good. Getting good at this on the fly stuff.
Yeah. Please like
the video.
I'm going to use that in the next one as well.
Oh, you should.
Yeah. Go on, your turn.
Ho, 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 please like the video. Yeah, or subscribe. I can't think of a rhyme. Please subscribe to the channel, Flannel.
We have an Instagram account, Studio Life 101.
What rhymes with account? We do. We also have. Oh man, I'm losing it. We also have a Patreon, and can't think of anything that rhymes with Patreon.
Yeah.
There's also a top 5 of our videos which you can go and check out, and there's some links where you can buy them down below.
It's not a top 5 of our videos. It's a top 5.
No, it's the top 5 plugins which we talk about in our videos.
Yes.
There's also a new course. I've finally released my mastering course. I'm really, really happy with it. I think it's really good. And if you want to learn to master in the box using just plugins, you should get it. Anyway, link to that and a load of other stuff. It's all down there. And we will see you next time. Adios.
Peace, motherfuckers!